Way ahead of schedule, we get our first look at the all-new 2023 Subaru Crosstrek. So guys, just 4 days ago here on YouTube, we got our first look at the all-new 2023 Crosstrek, the third generation. Thanks to the KindelAuto YouTube channel, they happened to be driving around and spotted one of the prototype test mules driving around California. These test mule / prototype cars are common for automakers. Anytime they have a new model coming out, they use these cars to do road testing to make sure that there's no issues with new components, new drivetrains, etc. Just to get a real-world application of these cars in use to work out any bugs or any issues, hopefully, before the production model comes around. Being that these are new models and companies not wanting you or I to see what they look like before the unveiling, they camouflage these cars. So that's what is on this car. It's a camouflage, a vinyl wrap to cover it up so the general public doesn't know what this car looks like exactly before the unveiling. So being that this is a prototype / mule, there are things that could change before production. Now, we can get a very good look at the rear, side, and front of this vehicle in this video. The Crosstrek is now in its third generation, and overall, it hasn't changed very much from the beginning to current. The overall shape of the car is pretty much the exact same. The only real big thing that changes year over year are the headlights, the grille, the tail lights, front and rear facelifts. Overall, the dimensions are pretty much the same. Now, in the current generation, second generation, we did see a widening of the hatch and the hatch opening for larger cargo compared to the first generation. What will we see as far as changes dimensionally in the third generation? We can't really speculate on. So looking at the rear of the vehicle, we see a redesign of the taillights. They are now pointed in, much like the new Forester and Outback have those nice little sharp points coming into the center sail panel. We also see a large, slightly hexagonal shape in the hatch where the license plate goes. We also see triangulated body cladding with markers in the bottom of the rear bumper. At the top of the hatch, we see more of a pronounced integrated spoiler, which I think is nice. Moving around to the front, we see kind of a large swoop in the bumper behind the fog light, likely to be body cladding, that dark plastic that the Crosstrek's known for having at the bottom. Looking at the body cladding around the wheel arches and down the side, we see some similarities between it and the 2022 WRX. A lot of people liked, a lot of people didn't like, and a lot of people jokingly said, well, we've now got our turbocharged sedan Crosstrek. As far as the grille goes, it looks very similar in outward dimensions as the 2022 WRX. Likely a few tweaks. It's likely not the same grille, but looks like the points of the grille match into the headlights. This YouTube channel here I'll put on, he did a good job of going through and colorizing this camouflage and making it stand out. And I think he went a little bit over and beyond on the headlights. I don't think they're going to extend all the way down to the grille like he shows. I think we'll see something more similar to the headlights in the new WRX in this Crosstrek. I doubt they're going to have big flashy headlights like that, but we don't know yet. It could happen. So even though we don't see a hood scoop on this Crosstrek, it still could be turbocharged, as the Outback XT does not have a hood scoop, nor does the Ascent, but still is a turbocharged engine. So looking at the bottom of the front bumper, it looks like this new Crosstrek will have very small fog lights, which I'm not super stoked about. I wish they would put some big old honking fog lights on there. I miss the old giant fog lights like Gen 1 and Gen 2 Outbacks had, and like the Bug-Eye WRX had. Give us some big old lights. Now, I know with LED technology, you don't need big honking lenses. It's more of an aesthetic thing for me, and a thing that maybe Subaru could try to integrate some of their heritage of the big fog lights into newer models instead of the little strip LEDs, which I'm not a big fan of. What do y'all guys think? Do y'all miss the big fog lights? Do you like the new little LED strips? Let me know in the comments. So, what can we expect to see as far as drivetrain is concerned in this next generation of the Crosstrek? We'll likely see the carryover of the current 2.5 liter, the FB25D. This will likely be the engine of choice for the Wilderness edition of Crosstrek, which will be coming out for the 2023 model year as well. Now, the current 2-liter, the FB20D, we could see this carried over, or we could see it gone to the wayside for a different entry-level engine. Subaru Japan just released the next generation of Boxer engine, the CB18, a 1.8-liter turbocharged engine. This engine is currently in the Lavorge, the Forester, and the Legacy Outback. 175 horsepower, 221 foot-pounds of torque. We could see this as the new upscale engine replacing the 2.5 for the Wilderness, or we could see it as the entry level. We also could see a variant of the FB20 E-Boxer. We could see it as a hybridized version of the Crosstrek, or we could see a small displacement turbocharged engine around a 1.5 or 1.6 liter displacement. All guesses at this point are just that, guesses. So moving behind the engine in this next generation Crosstrek's drivetrain, we'll likely see CVT as the only transmission option. I know that's going to make a lot of you guys grumpy, but the fact is that the 6-speed manual is not a big seller. Only a few percent of overall Crosstrek sales each year are manual transmission. The overwhelming majority of people buying Crosstreks want the CVT, or more to say they want an automatic transmission, maybe not a CVT, they just want an automatic. But the CVT is what you have right now from Subaru. So this will likely be the very end of the 6MT for Crosstrek and Impreza. In the 2022 model year, we'll likely see all CVT 2023 onward. Now, aside from that, we're going to see the same symmetrical all-wheel drive system we've seen every other generation of Crosstrek. Not much will probably change there. We will likely see a refinement to the suspension and a refinement to the braking system, as we've seen in the next generation of Forester. We'll likely see the addition of the new adaptives with the eyesight system, which is now forcibly standard on the Crosstrek and all other models. We'll likely see a carryover of the dashboard, most of the controls, infotainment, etc. from the 2022 WRX. All of you that have owned WRXs and Crosstreks know that basically the dashboard, the cluster, the infotainment, HVAC is pretty much the same components, just with a little bit of a reskin in the WRX models. In this video, we see that there's a large touchscreen in the center of the dash, which is very similar to what we saw in the 2022 WRX. If I have time myself, I'm going to get into Photoshop and take a screenshot of this new Crosstrek and overlay some paint on it and show you what I think it could end up looking like, although I'm not that great of a digital artist, so don't laugh when I put the picture up, which will be here if I've got one. If not, sorry, I ran out of time. So guys, what do you think of our first look at the new 2023 Crosstrek? What engine do you think is going to be in it? What do you think they're going to do different for the Wilderness version? And what are your thoughts on this new model as a whole? Is it something you're excited about? Is it something you're thinking about purchasing? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.